Welcome back. Recognizing the importance of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in achieving the new global development goals, the United Nations General Assembly has designated every 27th of June as International Day for MSMEs. In a resolution adopted without a vote, the 193-member body also invited all stakeholders, including member states, UN entities and civil society organizations, to observe the day and raise public awareness of their contribution to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which the Assembly adopted in September 2015. And here in Lagos, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry joined the rest of the world to mark the World Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day. That was on Wednesday, yesterday, 28th. I'm now being joined by the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Muda Yusuf, to tell us more about this day. Good morning, Mr. Yusuf. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, I guess the holiday made you move the celebration of this day or the marking of this day to 28. I guess that was why you had to shift it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So why do you think the United Nations came up with the idea of an MSME Day?
Well, the United Nations, I think, realized that the MSMEs, or small businesses generally, are very critical to the achievements of the SDG goals, that's Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah.
Especially SDG 8 and 9. The SDG 8, with the Sustainable Development Goals 8, is more about job creation, about decent jobs, about reduction in poverty, at least through the creation of jobs. Then SDG 9 is about innovation, creativity, and all of these things have a way of impacting on the achievement of these SDG goals. I think that is why I think they feel that, okay, the MSMEs are important enough for a day to be declared. I haven't thought that this would have happened much longer than now, I mean, long before now.
Well, it's better late than never.
Yes. So I think that is why the UN has decided to come up with the declaration of the day.
Now, why did LCCI decide to mark the day?
Well, we also recognize the importance of SMEs in the economy. First, majority of our members are actually small businesses. Close to 80 to 90% are small businesses. And secondly, the membership of the Chamber and many other business associations also reflect the character of the economy. If you look at the economy is also predominantly driven by SMEs. And I know that a lot is being done here and there about SME, but in our own space, we also have a responsibility to raise awareness about the importance of SMEs, what their roles are in job creation, in innovation, in creativity, and so on and so forth. And also in driving this economic diversification, economic recovery, all of these things. So they are very critical, and that is why the LCCI also decided that this is important enough for us to also mark, and we will do so every year.
Okay, beginning from now,
yes,
every year
exactly,
you have to mark
exactly.
it. Are you likely going to incorporate perhaps other bodies? Like NASIMA and co?
Yes, as the awareness grows, I think many other associations will also come on board. They could do it in conjunction with us, they could also do it separately. Just as you have some other UN days, like the Environment Day, Workers, and the rest of them. So I think that is how it's going to go.
Now, the government has been doing a lot to promote SMEs. How would you assess the impact of some of these measures?
Well, a lot has been done at the level of rhetoric, but in terms of outcomes, the impact has not been significant. And that is why, as we speak, SMEs still lament over one challenge or the other. We have institutions like SMIDAN, we have the NDE, we have microfinance banks, we have all sorts of things that have been put in place, both at the federal and the state level. But the issue is that a lot of these things have not had the kind of impact. First, on the internal environment of the SMEs, and secondly, on what I call the external environment. and that is why the SMEs are still struggling to survive. As we speak, the mortality rate of SMEs in Nigeria is still extremely high. I take the point that not all businesses or not all business owners are entrepreneurs, because we tend to assume that anybody that sets us a business is an entrepreneur, But having said that, the mortality rate has been so high because of some of these internal factors, which has to do with the capacity of the SMEs themselves to manage their businesses, with the capacity to articulate even their needs. For instance, you talk of an SME wanting to approach a financial institution. There has to be an articulation of a business plan. The capacity of the SMEs to also keep proper records. Because many of them, they just run business day in, day out. There is no metrics, nothing documented to be able to assess the performance of the business. So some of these internal factors also hamper the development of SMEs. Of course, we have the external factors. We talk about the infrastructure conditions, for instance, energy, the transportation costs, and all of that affect their productivity.
Now, okay.
You also have, regulatory institutions and all of that. These are issues that SMEs complain regularly and consistently about.
Now, talking about their capabilities, particularly being able to even write a formal letter, perhaps to ask for funding and all that, then I kind of wonder what SMEDAN does for these SMEs. Shouldn't they be helping them in some of these, these areas? Yes.
The SMEDAN man was at the event we had yesterday. He also articulated, what SMEDAN has been doing. But you see, it is estimated that the number of SMEs in the country is over 30 million.